Hey everybody, I'm Joey and today I'm a mile high overlooking Denver, Colorado, where we're gonna learn how to make some tasty steak fajitas. So follow me and let's meet America. Denver and Colorado in general is known for some really incredible Mexican food, but today we're meeting with an icon in the industry. They have over 5 locations, are independently owned and operated for over 34 years. Today, we're gonna meet with the executive chef, Eric Wisenhunt, who's gonna show us how to make some incredible fajitas served up with some of their famous margaritas. Now, it's time to turn up the heat and cook some meat here at the Rio Grande.
This is my favorite place to come, to sit on the patio, and it's just so festive and you can always count on a good time. I ordered the chicken burrito, which is one of my favorites. It's just so delicious and I get the green chili on top and it's just my favorite thing here.
Since these guys are credited with bringing Tex-Mex to Colorado, it's all gonna be fresh. They make their tortillas fresh every morning, their black beans fresh every morning. Just can't go wrong.
So we're making some fajitas today. What kind of meat are we using?
Yep, so we're using outside skirt. Traditionally, fajitas are made with skirt steak. There's an inside and an outside. We like to use the outside skirt. So if you were purchasing from the store, you can buy it either unpeeled or peeled. This is unpeeled, and we're gonna go through the process of peeling this, which is pretty simple. And then you get to this, which would be the peeled skirt, which would be ready for you to use.
And so what's the purpose of peeling the steak?
You're not gonna wanna eat this. It's never gonna break down when you're cooking. This is gonna be like the silver skin. Whereas all of this fat is gonna be great. It's gonna melt as you're cooking it on the grill and make it really tender, juicy, and delicious.
And as we say at Meat America, the fat is where it's at. That's where beef meat in general gets a lot of its flavor from, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And outside skirt is a pretty fatty cut of meat, pretty thin. But with all the fat, it is a really delicious cut of meat. So once I get it started, I should be able to just peel this off. And then there's gonna be some extra fat that we're just gonna peel off with our hands as well. I shouldn't have to do too much trimming with the knife.
It almost looks like the membrane that you find on the back of a rib, kind of peeling away like that.
Yep, same thing. Just like the ribs, once you get it started, it's usually pretty easy to just pull right off. And just like ribs, your butcher could probably do this for you if you didn't want to do it yourself. You know, there's kind of this really big fat that we're gonna want to pull off. And then on this side, there'll be a little bit that we want to trim off the top. And we'll get some of that as we're going to the other side. Nowadays, we see fajitas with any kind of meat, chicken, veggie, shrimp. But traditionally, fajitas were only steak. Skirt steak was actually a poor man's cut. And they would take it and cook it over the campfire and make fajitas out on the range.
If our audience is headed to the grocery store or the market and they can't find skirt steak, what should they be buying as a substitute?
Inside skirt will work. Sirloin butt flap, they'll call it sometimes.
Well, butt flap doesn't sound too appealing, but that aside.
So I'm just gonna do a quick little trim of this real heavy stuff up top, and then everything else is gonna melt. So it's gonna be the fat that's gonna melt into the meat. You can cut this down to whatever portions you want. You could take it like this and marinate it, grill the whole thing, and then when you're pulling this off, it'd be a pretty fun showpiece to be cutting it.
Absolutely.
For your guests. Here at the restaurant, we do 8-ounce portions. This thickness is ideal, so 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch is gonna eat really well. You know, it gets down into this thinner part, it's still gonna eat really well. You just wanna be really careful when you're cooking it. I'll take these and put these in here, and then I'll put marinade on top of it, and we'll let that sit for 1 hour.
Join us for the Meat America podcast presented by Code 3 Spices as we meet experts and discuss incredible stories, business and life advice, meat, of course, and much, much more. Like a bunch of friends gathered around the grill, the meat brings us together, but the conversation will head in exciting directions. Are you ready for an adventure? Follow along every week as we meet America.
Oh, I love this margarita. It's infused with hibiscus and it also looks beautiful.
I love their Mezcal Old Fashioned. I think it just combines an elevated cocktail experience with infusing their Tex-Mex roots into it.
It feels so good, it feels so good, it feels so good. Oh my, my, doing what I want, gonna do my thing, do my thing. Take it slow, I feel right from head to toe. Are you ready? Up and let it roll, here I go. Are you ready?
So here at the restaurant, we have like a base marinade for all of our steak. So the base marinade is what we use on the sirloin flat, and then we fortify that a little bit into a brine. 3 to 2 to 1, pineapple to soy to Worcestershire. So it's gonna be 3 parts of pineapple, 2 parts of soy sauce,
3, 2, 1, pineapple to soy to Worcestershire.
2 tablespoons of garlic and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. If you're going down in size significantly, you know it's gonna be a pinch of brown sugar and a pinch of garlic.
Yeah, you call it restaurant size, I call it party size, man.
And we use an already chopped garlic packed in water, but if you were, you know, doing your own cloves, it would be the same scenario. That's the base marinade. Again, that's what we use for our sirloin flat. Now to take this and use it for our fajitas. So we're gonna take this, we're gonna do 3.5 cups of this.
So we got 3.5 cups of the base.
And then we're gonna do 2 cups of water. And then we're gonna do 11 fluid ounces of fresh squeezed orange juice. It's really important that you do fresh squeezed juices. We do fresh squeezed juices in our kitchens and in our bars at the restaurant, and you can really taste the difference.
You really can, especially with pineapple juices processed, and a lot of times it can remove the enzyme that helps break down meat.
Yeah, the acidity in the fruit is gonna help, and then the salt we're also gonna add is gonna help tenderize, and in the brine is gonna allow it to absorb more moisture and be more tender. So 11 ounces of orange juice and 2 ounces of lime juice, and then 2 ounces of the limes. If you're doing this batch sizes, 11 ounces of oranges is going to be about 5.5 or 6 oranges usually, and then the 2 ounces of lime is going to be about 3 limes.
And if you have any left over, all these fruits go great in a cocktail of some kind, right?
Margaritas. To finish this out, we're going to do 1 more tablespoon of garlic, 2 more tablespoons of our brown sugar. Again, salt and sugar are very common in brines. And 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. So this batch size right here is enough to do 7.5 pounds of meat.
All right, so we got our marinade done. The meat we have marinating separately. Let's head on over to the grill.
Sounds good.
All right, so we got the marinated steak. Let's get cooking. What's next?
So traditionally fajitas, again, would be steak. Nowadays it can be any meat, so you can choose your protein. And then it's gonna be whatever your choice of grilled vegetables are. One thing you will see as a trick here, I know this is a meat show, but for veggies, onions take a long time to cook. So all these are gonna cook pretty fast. These are gonna take a little longer. So we par cook these to about 60%. So all the veggies are gonna go on a hot part of the grill for show, because we want nice lines on it. And then the same thing with the meat. We're gonna go on a pretty hot part of the grill.
Now while you're throwing that on, I think it's implied, look, you don't want to slice your meat before you throw it on the grill or in a pan, right?
You don't. In Mexico, there's some different styles of cooking. Flame grilled or the charbroiler, which is what we're using. Very traditional of like northern Mexico and Texas. So again, the Tex-Mex heritage that we're coming from. A lot of times in Mexico, you'll see them cooking on like an earthen comal, so a clay comal or like a flat top. So this is the ideal thickness, about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. This one's a little bit thinner and this one's a little bit thicker. So they're all gonna be a little bit different depending on thickness. It's gonna eat the best at medium. We're probably at a minute per side. And these ones are gonna take a little bit longer, so I'm gonna get the nice crosshatch grill marks, and then I'm gonna move down here to my cooler part. So again, I'm minute and a half per side, and then maybe another minute down here. and then we'll be 5 minutes resting.
And I know I say it every show, and I know you can't at home, but the smells here are absolutely tremendous. Frankly, one of my favorite parts of cooking is getting hit with all those delicious flavors. All right, well, I told you waiting is the hardest part, so I'm just gonna take this, and it's been a great show. So.
You got nice grill marks because you were on the hot part, and then you went to the cooler part to finish. When I'm off the grill and I'm resting, I got time to look at this. I'm gonna find the grain on the steak, and then I'm gonna cut against the grain. So grain is running this way, and I'm cutting this way, and then at this angle is just called a bias cut. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna allow you, when you're presenting this, because so much of what we do is visual as well as, you know, the smells
You
you're
keep
talking
talking,
about.
Eric. You keep talking. I'm gonna give this a shot.
So you need a little bit of this. This is just the base marinade, not the enhanced brine. And this is fresh. We've never used it to marinate anything. You're gonna hit that one last time. But that nice bias cut, then you can take this and you can fan it out real nice, and everybody will be able to see your beautiful meat.
Oh, I didn't have the finished product. I gotta go back in again. I'm sorry, right here, man. This is.
So traditionally with your fajitas, you would serve this with fixins. You can kind of choose whatever you like. Very traditional in Tex-Mex, it's gonna be black beans and Spanish rice. Your tortilla source is vital. We make our tortillas in-house. Make sure you buy really nice tortillas, either flour or corn. Fresh made guacamole, sour cream, and pico de gallo.
All right, take a look at that. That looks absolutely tremendous. I'm gonna grab some of those fresh house-made tortillas and some of those famous margaritas that they're known for and get all of it in my belly. Follow me. All right, guys, it's time for my favorite part, the taste test. Now, before I dig in, I just wanna mention, you know, a key component of quality food is fresh ingredients. And here at the Rio Grande, it's a from scratch kitchen. I mean, take a look around this table. All these salsas that you see lined up over here are made from scratch daily. We have house-made pico, house-made guac, also house-made tortillas. And these are made, I think, several times per day. When you use fresh food, it's always going to taste better. So now we're gonna go ahead and build our fajita. There really is no right way to build a fajita. Put in it what you like. I'm gonna go ahead and start right over here with a piece of this skirt steak. Look at that. Eric did a phenomenal job cooking that directly to temperature. We're gonna get some of that in there. How about a pepper in there? We're gonna get some onions. So let's hit it with some of that fresh pico. Go with that fresh guac. And how about a little sour cream too? I mean, just take a look at this spread. This is what you're gonna get when you come to the Rio Grande. Their hospitality here today has been just off the charts, and I can't wait to dig right in. I talked about freshness, and that's just what you're getting here in every single bite. This tortilla, I mean, look guys, this is not a store-bought tortilla, and there is a tremendous difference between store-bought and homemade from scratch here in-house. When I bite into this thing, you're getting hit obviously with that fresh tortilla taste first. I'm getting some of the bite from that pico, the onions and the green peppers and the tomatoes, that fresh creamy guacamole and salsa. The bottom line is this is like a party in your mouth. And you guys, you gotta try this for yourself. The next time you're in Denver or the Front Range area, pop on into the Rio Grande, try some of their fresh from scratch food made by Chef Eric, and you will not be disappointed. Now, there's a lot of food around me and I intend to eat it all. And if you think the food is good, you gotta try some of these famous margaritas. Salud. If you wanna make Rio Grande fajitas right at home, just follow these steps. Use skirt steak and peel away the silver skin. Cut the steak into 8-ounce portions. Make a base marinade using a ratio of 3 parts pineapple, 2 parts soy, and 1 part Worcestershire. Chef Eric makes a large batch, but if you're making this at home, we've done the math for you. Use 1 3/4 cup pineapple juice, 1 1/4 cup soy, a half a cup of Worcestershire, a pinch of garlic, and a pinch of brown sugar. This will make 3 1/2 cups of base marinade. Now add 2 cups of water, 11 ounces of fresh squeezed orange juice, which is about 5 or 6 oranges, 2 ounces of lime juice, which is approximately 3 limes, 1 table minced garlic, 2 tablespoons brown sugar, 2 tablespoons kosher salt. This will make enough marinade for 7 1/2 pounds of meat. Next, marinate your steak for 1 hour. Choose veggies to complement the fajita. Red and green peppers, sweet white onions, and tomatoes are common choices. Fire up your grill and throw the meat and veggies over the hottest parts. Remember to brush the marinade on the steak as it grills. Cook the steak about 1 to 1 1/2 minutes per side and then move to a cooler part of the grill as it reaches an internal medium rare temperature. Take the steak off the grill and let it rest for 5 minutes. Cut the steak into strips by cutting against the grain at an angle. Serve the steak and veggies up with corn or flour tortillas and all the fixins. And finally, nothing pairs better with fajitas than a fresh margarita. And today's pro tip to turn up the tasty: cook large cut of meat before slicing into strips for the fajitas. Make sure you cut the skirt steak against the grain at a 45-degree angle, which is commonly referred to as cutting on a bias. Look, I had an incredible time making those tasty steak fajitas, but I have a question. Where should we go next? Let us know in the comments below. Also, while you're there, you know the drill. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that big thumbs up like button, or even better, subscribe to our channel so you'll never miss another adventure as we continue to meet America.